Victor Wembanyama just got even more terrifying. One of the most unstoppable players in the NBA just grew another inch, and that's not even the scariest part. Victor Wembanyama is now officially 7'4", 7'4", and after the summer he just had, the rest of the league should be absolutely terrified. Shaolin monks, Hakeem Olajuwon, Kevin Garnett, a vegan diet, and a trip to NASA. This isn't just a basketball player anymore. At Spurs Media Day, the announcement that sent shockwaves through the NBA, Victor Wembanyama is now listed at 7'4". Last season, 7'3". This season, 7'4". He literally grew a whole nother inch. That ties him with the Memphis Grizzlies big man, Zach Edey, as the tallest player in the entire NBA. And think about this, Wembanyama was already the favorite for Defensive Player of the Year last season at 7'3". He was blocking shots from another zip code, blocking threes at the three-point line, swatting layups without jumping, making all-star players look like they're playing against their dads in the driveway. And now he's an inch taller. How is that even fair? But it's not just the height. Wemby also spent the offseason bulking up and adding muscle to his frame. The Spurs are expecting that added muscle to help him absorb contact better and hold up over the grueling 82-game season. When asked about his transformation, he just joked, "I've been eating a lot, but I don't think I'll be obese anytime soon." So let me get this straight. He's taller, he's stronger, more experienced, and he's entering his third season when most players make their biggest leap. The NBA just might be cooked. But Wemby's growth wasn't just physical. His summer was absolutely wild, and unlike anything we've seen from an NBA player. His first stop was China, but not to do typical basketball camps. No. Wemby trained with Shaolin monks. That's right, Shaolin monks. While most NBA players were hitting the gym and working on their jump shots, Wemby was learning Kung Fu from actual Shaolin monks. And get this, he adopted a vegan diet. A 7'4" NBA player going vegan while training with monks? This man is on a different wavelength. But he wasn't done. Next, he worked out with the legendary Hall of Famer Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, one of the greatest post players and footwork masters in NBA history. And he also linked up with Kevin Garnett, another all-time great defender and one of the most intense competitors to ever play. Think about what Wemby is learning. Hakeem's footwork and post moves, KG's defensive intensity and mentality, Shaolin discipline and flexibility. He's already got the size and length. Now he's adding legendary footwork, elite defensive instincts, and martial arts flexibility. This is straight out of a video game. Oh, and because that wasn't enough, he hosted a chess tournament in his hometown called the Hoop Gambit. The attendance, it rivals Spurs home games. People came out in droves just to watch Wemby play chess. And then to cap it all off, he visited NASA's Johnson Space Center. And when asked about what his favorite experience was in the summer, he said it was NASA. This isn't just a basketball player, folks. This is someone operating on a completely different level. Intellectually, physically, mentally, the man is exploring space while most players are posting Instagram stories from the club. But beneath all the headlines and amazing experiences was something much more serious. Wembanyama's season ending early due to a blood clot in his shoulder. A blood clot. That's not a sprained ankle, that's not a minor injury. That's genuinely scary. The diagnosis was serious enough that it required extensive medical attention and kept him out for the rest of the season. The Spurs had to navigate life without their cornerstone player, their franchise, their future, and it wasn't pretty. Now fully cleared, Wembanyama opened up about how the experience changed him. He said, "Spending so much time in hospitals, hearing more bad news than I wanted, it's traumatic, but it gave me perspective. Life isn't forever. I'm going to miss as little as I can." 21-year-old dealing with a life-threatening condition, spending time in hospitals, processing bad news, but instead of being defeated, it fueled him. He said, "I feel like I need to play basketball. I've already maxed out what I could do off the court, now I need to be on it." That's the mindset of someone who understands how precious time is. And now he's back, healthy, cleared, and more motivated than ever. After facing something that put life and basketball into perspective, Wembanyama isn't taking a single game for granted anymore. That's the most dangerous type of player. Someone with nothing to prove but everything to give. Now the Spurs are entering a new era under the new coach, Mitch Johnson. And Johnson made something very clear from day one. We want this team to be in the reflection of Victor. He's our best player, he's our guy. This isn't the Tim Duncan Spurs anymore. This isn't the Kawhi Leonard Spurs, this is Victor Wembanyama's team. The entire offense is being designed around his unique skill set, his ability to shoot from anywhere, his passing vision, his ability to run the floor like a guard. Defensively, they're building a system that maximizes his length and instincts. He's not just the anchor, he's the entire defensive identity. The young core around him, they all understand this is Wemby's team now. This is exactly how you build around a generational talent. You don't force him into your system, you build your system around him. The Spurs know how to do this. They did it with David Robinson, they did it with Tim Duncan, they did it with Kawhi. Now they're doing it with Wemby. And if his summer is any indication of his mindset and work ethic, the rest of the league should be very, very worried. Let's talk about why this is such a nightmare scenario for the rest of the NBA. In his rookie season, before the injury, Wemby averaged 21.4 points, 10.6 rebounds, 3.9 assists, and 3.6 blocks per game. 3.6 blocks per game as a rookie. That's absurd. And he shot 32.5% from 3 on decent volume. A 7'4" center shooting threes at a respectable clip. Now imagine that same player, but an inch taller, 20 pounds heavier, trained with Hakeem on post moves, trained with KG on defense, more flexible from Kung Fu training, more mature after dealing with a serious injury. You telling me a 7'4" player with elite footwork, 3-point range, defensive instincts, and martial arts flexibility is about to enter his 3rd season? He's already doing things that shouldn't be possible. Blocking shots from behind, shooting over double teams, handling the ball in transition like a point guard. Most players make their biggest leap in year 3. That's when everything clicks, when experience meets physical prime. Wembanyama is already being discussed for MVP. He's already the favorite for Defensive Player of the Year, and he hasn't even scratched the surface of his potential. If you're the Lakers, Nuggets, Warriors, or any Western Conference team, how do you even game plan for this? Put a center on him, he'll shoot over them from 3. Put a forward on him, he'll post them up with Hakeem moves. Double team him, he'll find the open man with elite passing vision. There is no answer. There is no defensive scheme. You just hope he's having an off night and pray. You rarely see this combination. Elite physical tools, high basketball IQ, intellectual curiosity, diverse interests, work ethic, and humility. This isn't just a player who could win championships, this is a player who could change the entire culture of basketball. He's taller, he's stronger, he's more skilled, and after dealing with a serious injury, he's even more motivated than ever. The Spurs are building their entire franchise in his image. The offense, the defense, the culture is all centered around this generational talent. For the rest of the NBA, there's no good news here. The most unique and unstoppable player in the league just got even better. And if you're a fan of any other team in the Western Conference, you better hope your squad figured out how to guard a 7'4" Kung Fu master with Hakeem footwork. Because as Wembanyama said, I'm going to miss as little as I can. Translation, he's coming for everything.